Welcome everyone, welcome. Now I think we should be live and ready to go. And yes, so today we're going to be doing unit cards. And I aim to get 3 done in this stream. So let's jump straight in. Hi Auntie's already here. Hi Auntie is here because you'll be seeing a sneak preview of a new faction that's coming out. All I'll say is hold on to your horses. You'll be seeing the first ever publicly released unit. I've forgotten what the size is, let's just go and open a new. Hello everyone, hello. Oh, some familiar names in the chat. Welcome. So, what was I doing? We're going to start with the Ered Mithrin Veterans card. You know, you probably saw me draw it in the concept streams, and you've probably seen Froosty's modelling streams where he's begun modelling, and he's going to continue with that tomorrow, by the way, so make sure you catch that. So let's go in. They have a hammer, so I'm going to copy that. And let's open that. So here we go. So with these sort of modified cards, I don't actually work at a larger scale. I just sort of work like this. And straight off the bat, I find these cards really therapeutic to do. So I'm completely at home with this. It's not like the concept streams where I'm trying to, get stressed about managing the stream and the chat at the same time. So these ones are much easier and simpler. And there's lots of people saying hello. Caboose from Steam, what faction? The Ered Mithrin Veterans, they're for Erebor. The mystery unit that you're going to see is from a very secretive faction that many of you wouldn't have seen before. Fingers McNippleson, a moderator. Hello, folks. Welcome. So this is just this is not going to look like this. This is the Iron Hill Mattock Warriors. I'm just using this as a base. So we're going to save that. As the Ered Mithrin Veterans, sorry. EM Vets unit card. And because of the wide space, it allows me to do that. And let's get the concept up so anyone who didn't see the streams can see what we're modelling, see what we're drawing. There we go. People saying they're going to enjoy watching this. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully I'm going to be more on it with the chat today, just because this is so much more relaxing to do. Right, so let's get straight into it. It's not going to be too much work, really. So if we just get everything down to 1 pixel, they're really quite small dimensions, so it's even these small brush sizes look massive. And let's just cover everything in, keep that opacity high, cover everything in grey. And yeah, like I just said, I find these really therapeutic, so I can, when I'm in the zone, I often bang out several in one go. Welcome, we're already at almost 40 people. So if you just joined, we've got several cards lined up for today. Right now we're doing these guys, so these guys are the people you might have seen me draw in stream in the last few weeks. And after that we've got a mystery unit for a new faction, so it's a sneak preview for our loyal YouTube followers. Caboose from Steam saying this reminds you of the Massic warriors from Divide and Conquer. It's been a while since I saw Erebor from Divide and Conquer, actually, so I can't remember what they look like, but I'm sure. Enzo Kohlmeier, Mystery Unit, Secretive Faction. Well, you've seen the concept art, that's all I'll say, but you haven't actually seen any of the... Well, you've seen very little of the assets. Hello, Frusty. These guys are the Ered Mithrin veterans, so if you want to catch Frusty modelling them, there's going to be a stream tomorrow, around about the same time. So go and show him some love there. Frusty's been working ridiculously hard on the Dwarves. So for all you Dwarf fans out there, the next update is going to be a big one. I usually have a little piece of paper next to me with all the little things I should say about links and Discord, which reminds me, all you veterans of the streams will know what I do. I plug this Discord a lot, but you're going to have to sit through that again. To anyone who is new, all our social media links are down below, and where you can see the Discord, where you can see all our most recent previews and things. So do check that out and become a member of our community. Let's just get that nice. There's a stylistic touch to these cards that I actually can't work out quite what it is. So some cards I do work and some don't. But hopefully these ones will look good. I can't select that colour, can I? The Wooden Realm cards that I redid for the most recent update, they're my favourite. Yes, Dwarves. Caboose from Steam is very pleased about that. And we might well find actually that this big golden beard that he's wearing is a clipping issue when it comes to modelling. It might sort of miraculously sink into his chin when he puts his head down, you know. So in that case, Frusty will probably sort it out by changing its size and stuff. So in which case I'll edit the card at a later date. Smokey saying, what is the deal with what you're doing now in the pick? What am I doing now? I'm just working on a unit card. I'm drawing it from scratch. Oh, he's just retracted the message, okay. Martin Laurent saying, I feel like a spoiled kid with all these almost daily streams. Oh, it's very nice to hear that, thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to do them. It gives us really nice engagement with the community. Caboose from Steam, been feeding my dwarf addiction by playing Warhammer 2. Yeah. Well, in the next update, hopefully, that addiction can be satisfied with Rise of Mordor as well. Taiki ZA, hello. Philippo Leica, you're the incredible composer that's done our official soundtrack. Thanks for stopping by. It reminds me, I said I'd put music in, but I've completely forgotten. And they look very funny at the moment. Apologies. We will sort them out, don't worry. Enzo Kohlmeier as well. Hello. get that beard in. Caboose from Steam saying, the dwarves seem like they've been corrupted by Melkor himself, Lloyd. Do you mean by that they've barely been worked on? In which case, yes, that's very true. Andrew Gardner saying, how long would you say it takes to make a unit card from start to finish? Well, you're about to see it. It will be a bit slower than usual because I'm looking at the phone and stuff at the same time. But they're not that time consuming, you know. I can bang out a lot in one day if I put my mind to it. His eyes look a bit cartoonish. When I go silent, it means I'm trying to actually concentrate on the... Porter Riker saying, will the Orcs of the Misty Mountains ever come back? As a faction, do you mean? In which case, I can't remember, to be honest. But what you should do is look at our Trello page. Although it might not be there, actually. It might be on the private one. If it's on the private one, then you won't be able to see it. But I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're planned. Hi Auntie saying, great to see the magic happening. Thank you very much. Philip Oleka, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get that plume in. Yeah, 54 viewers now. 50. Wow, that's a lot. Thanks, folks, for watching. Rifki, apologies. Mujahid. Oh, apologies. I'm terribly sorry for butchering that. Am I using a mouse or pen? I'm using a pen. It's much harder to draw using a mouse. Much harder. Hats off to anyone who can. Just using a pen is just so much. It's like normal, real life drawing, you know. So it's just much simpler. Especially for me, because I grew up doing traditional art, not digital. So. Freeze is saying, when I didn't put the lamella on it, it looks really cool without all the details, like plate armor. I was thinking that, actually. I was thinking that. It does look... I don't know, maybe raise that with moisture. It might be something to consider. It is fitting that these dragon slayers have scale armor, because obviously they fight dragons. But from a practical point of view, that just doesn't make sense. Having full plate makes them look really elite. So I'd be up for that. Even if it means painstakingly going over all those scales that took me ages to do, I'd still be up for it, for the good of the mod. And right now we're just putting in the detail, putting in the really basic shapes. Yeah, so 50 people. Welcome, folks, to anyone who's just joined. Be sure to check out Freesty's stream tomorrow evening, where he'll be modelling these guys. Caboose from Sneeze saying he loves plate armor. Everyone loves plate armor. You can't not love plate armor. Taiki ZA saying, I will always support you guys in any way I can. Your YouTube videos are such a good way of supporting us, man. So thank you very much for doing that. Andrew Gardner. Andrew Gardner, yeah, saying I like the look of Lamella more. Yeah, we'll stick to that for now on the unit card as well. Don't worry. Sometimes I actually use my concept in the unit card. I sort of shrink it down and adjust it slightly. But we won't be doing that today. Caboose from Steam saying you could still have the scales showing in some parts of the body, but just add more plate so they look more heavily armoured and elite. Yeah. Maybe a sort of chest plate. Just a chest plate, actually, and maybe some... I'm not sure what the actual technical word is for the armour on the upper leg. Sort of hanging down from the belt, but that would look cool. So yeah, something to consider. Maybe the unit captain as well. That could be for them. What we're doing, right? Let's just quickly add that buckle and more scales. I'm just going to go with black eyes because that looks cool. They look a bit like those mask guys from 300 actually at the moment, so we don't want to make them look too evil. And there's sort of outlines sometimes to unit cards, so I want to come like that. Yeah, it's looking simple at the moment, but good. Or rather, I don't mean to sound boasting or anything. I'm just saying it doesn't look bad. Is what I'm saying. Tassets, thank you. Tassets, yeah. Yeah, no, it's something to consider. We'll raise it with Maestro, who's our balancing chap. The Erebor roster you see on Trello right now is actually, the elite units are actually subject to change. Fruity's come up with some ideas of balancing. Won't spoil anything for you. But so they are not what you see there now. And of course, to anyone who doesn't know, the Grim Hammers are being taken away, but replaced with these guys. So I'm sure none of you are complaining. I actually quite enjoy working in this kind of. It's a horribly scale, pixel-like and terrible quality, but it's quite nice actually. I mean, it allows you to not be too careful about stuff. You can just go for things. Let's get some texture on that helmet. This guy in the concept, he's really battered up. He may be elite, but he's got some old armor, some seasoned stuff. Yeah, some very excited dogs barking in my street, so I apologise if you can hear them. Dragon Shore is a perfectly fitting song for these guys. Very true, very true. Said Teutonic Knight, by the way. Andrew Gardner, what unit card are you going to make after this one? It's a surprise. It is a surprise. It's a faction that it is on the Trello, so you can see it. But you've never seen the finished models of these guys before. You might have seen one or two bits and bobs, but nothing finally ready and in game. then this this faction will be coming next update, I believe. Why are the Grim Hammers going away? I don't know. I actually did a unit card for them because I had no clue they were going away. So I don't know, but apparently the powers that be have decreed it, so we can't really do anything about it. I mean, at the moment you only have 2 elite units as Erebor, including the Grim Hammers. But the aim, something looks wrong with this actually. Plume's not close enough. That's it. Yeah, so the aim is eventually, next update I think, you'll have 6. And that's not including the Grim Hammers. 6 new tier 4 units. So that's something to look forward to. There's the dragon head. Get some more texture. It's really easy just to do get a nice finish. I don't have to go in with too much precision on these, just to get a nice finish look there. Well, I'm not actually a fan of that. Let's decrease. I'm just going to merge the two because I can't bother. Decrease the size a little bit of the helmet. The proportions of these unit cards are a little strange. Hopefully I've started to get my head around them. The weird thing is that pixel art is unrealistic, but the amount of detail added makes it realistic at the same time, says Caboose from Steam. Yeah, it's very true. It is sort of hit or miss if they look cartoony or good, realistic. And I'm not going for an entirely realistic look with these guys. But I want them to look epic at the same time. Gosh, there's a lot of comments. Apology if I don't keep up. Mentalist Art saying, don't these units make Erebor a little overpowered? They are an incredibly overpowered infantry faction, yes. Their disadvantage is that they don't have a huge number of archers or cavalry. They have 1 unit cavalry, and they're not going to be getting goat riders. For anyone who's still campaigning for that, that is a solid no from us. They will not be getting goat riders. And from a gameplay perspective as well, that just makes them, the goat riders will be pretty elite. Maybe even another tier 4 unit if we added goat riders. So that would just completely, unbalance the game. So there's a gameplay argument as well there. Yeah. Dane Ironfoot. I'm not going to read that. Rohan is coming next update for sure. Yeah, they are. 62 viewers. Welcome, folks. Welcome. Meaty asking, what's a Rohan? Interesting question. I'm not sure you're in the right place if you don't know what that is. It's a recipe. Yes, it is a recipe. Plague Doctor, thank you very much. Caboose from Steam saying, well, in Third Age there are pikes, and I don't think they should have pikes, but there's... Oh, so you're arguing amongst yourselves there. you can get. There's a new Iron Hills submod. I think so. Yeah. Enzo Cormier is saying they have 2 halberds. They do have 2 halberds, neither of which, or one of them's made, I think. The tier 2 one's been made, but the what they call the Treasure Hall Wardens. If you look on Trello, which is linked below for anyone who would like to see our new sort of roadmap of factions, the Treasure Hall Wardens are planned to have pikes. Although no, they're not actually. That's one of the changes that's going to be made to their roster. We're going to have things aren't going to change in particular, but we're sort of balancing around the weapons. So they're going to end up having a sword and shield. You've seen their shield previewed recently in our previews channel, which is on our Discord. For anyone who would like to find out more and is new to Rise of Mordor, welcome for a start. But you can find all you need to know about the project in our Discord, which is linked below. And to any veterans of the streams, you know that I say this a lot. And also, you can see my, you can find my art social media if you'd like to see more of my work. That's in the description as well. Almost 70 viewers. Welcome. Wow, I think that's the most I've ever had. Let's speed through these guys so we can get to the mystery faction. And they really don't need to be very detailed. We can just be quite rough with it. And the scales are really simple to do. There we go. They are already half done. When I go quiet, it means I'm trying to concentrate on the thing. Halberdier with dwarves does not make sense. That's true, you don't actually see any in the films, do you? But Edgered, who's our other concept artist, has done a really cool halberd design, which you can see on the previews channel as well. I think they look cool anyway. Meaty's saying, I heard someone is working on a Goat Rider submod. Maybe, probably. I'm not sure how they do it from a balancing perspective, because that just makes dwarves ridiculously powerful. But it would be cool to see what they do, because I'm not sure if it requires a new set of animations, or you can match it to a horse. I'm not sure. I think if it's a submod, they'd probably opt to make it match it to a horse animations, even if it looks slightly off. Whereas in the main mod, we do it properly. "69 viewers, hilarious, Meaty. Thank you, hilarious." Andrew Gardner, I'm lagging behind a lot with the chat. Andrew Gardner saying it's fitting that the dwarves have the best heavy infantry of Middle Earth, but basically no cav. Yeah, that's what Tolkien intended as well, so it makes sense. Mentalist art, maybe those eyes need to be a little lighter for me to. For me now, the unit card looks evil. They do look a little evil. Let's add in some red. That makes them look quite a lot more evil. I add in red because we know when human faces are in shadow, there's actually more red than you think. So that's basically skin. So you can't really see the eyes, but yeah, it looks right. Not a fan of how big this helmet is actually. I'm going to just trim it down a little bit. It's hard because it's a cartoony style. It's not cartoony, but it's a stylistic approach approach to the cards, but at the same time trying to get a good, epic realism. So it's tricky to get your head around at the beginning, I think. And I've forgotten the chat again. Caboose from Steam. That's probably you're talking to yourself, I think. Okay, so you're discussing the Dwarven roster, the fact Dwarves have halberds, yes. You read lore-wise that the Dwarves never rode mountain goats. No, they didn't. Absolutely not. That's completely fictitious from Peter Jackson's part. Tolkien states quite clearly that they didn't ride to war. And, Gimli's always talking about feeling best on his own 2 feet or stuff. I mean, you see dwarves riding ponies in The Hobbit, but that's purely a travel thing. They didn't, they didn't ride. Or Dane would have, if Dane had to get to Erebor to help Thorin in such, quick speed, they would have all ridden ponies to war if that was something that, if that was something they did. But obviously they don't do that. And I'm rambling, but you get what I'm saying. NPC War, Adobe, the best programs. They are good. They are good, aren't they? Game Ahead. Hello. Found this while installing Battle for Middle-earth. Again, cool mod. My friends will be pumped to hear about this. Subscribed. Brilliant. Thank you. Well, Game Ahead. The links to our social media, Discord is where we do all our stuff. They're in the description below. So if you want to find out more and see, previews and stuff, absolutely check out our Discord server, which is the top link, I think, in the description. But yeah, what has happened there? Oh, I've selected the wrong tool. We're trying to expand the YouTube channel. We just hit 3,000 subscribers, actually, so thank you ever so much again for supporting us. I know it's a small milestone, but we've been hitting a lot of milestones with the mod anyway recently, actually, as well. We just passed 7,000 subscribers, and we've enabled server discovery. We had some really successful Reddit posts and stuff. So yeah, at the moment progress is great, and the support from you guys is great. So thank you again. Victimized saying, "Oh lol, Filiboleka was here." Yeah. You haven't seen him in years. All right. Yeah, he seems pretty engaged with the enthusiastic about what's happening. "75 people. Oh, someone says it was 81, but I probably my missing the lagging behind on the chat has caused some people to go. If I do not answer your question, it's not that I haven't seen it. It's probably that I'm lagging behind a bit with the chat. So I will get round to everyone eventually. And if I do miss it, apologies. RIP Adobe Flash Player, yes. Mentalist Art, I love the style of unit cards. For me, too much realism is not the goal. That's why I like these stylized cards. Yeah, also this is a really, what are the dimensions, 64 by 152 pixels, isn't a huge amount to work with. So getting a really realistic card is harder than what we do now. Because these aren't trying to be serious, are they? They look good, but they are cartoon cards, essentially. And I'm not going to do... I know this guy has these cool sort of beard rings things. I'm not going to do that for this guy, for this card, because we might not be able to do that with the... or it would mean making another set of beards and stuff, so we might not do that just yet. Or at all, I don't know. Let's get the hammer handle, which I think you can't. So that's, yeah, it's a sort of wrap leather thing, which looks nice. Gold ring like that. Why is that not working? Oh. Rise of Mordor is for Attila, right? Asks Caleb Finkel. Yes, it is. Zap1619. Props to you for making these unit cards with this much detail. I've tried and it's no easy task. Well, I've had a lot of practice. I find them quite simple now because I've been redoing all of our old ones. Any of the old ones that you used to play with that haven't been redone, I will get round to. So I've had a lot of experience with these, and I find them really therapeutic. It's not concepts require a lot of concentration, but these are just so much simpler. Andrew Gardner saying it was only 2.5k. Yeah, it was. I think when we started streams, it was about. It might have just been 2 actually, 2k, or 2.2k or something. But we've grown quite a lot, yeah. Game Ahead saying, yeah, it's for Attila. I think I heard about it a while ago, but never knew the name of the mod. So cool, I randomly stumbled on it. Yeah, so it's good to see that we're our streams are being recommended to people who aren't subscribed, because that's a really good way of attracting new people. So good to see that in action. I'm glad you've joined us. He's got a little gold bit on his nose, hasn't he? Back at 69 viewers. I'm sure many of you will find that hilarious. Thomas asking, how's the campaign map going? Well, if you have a look on our YouTube channel, we've got Leo does these awesome campaign streams where he's working on the campaign map. He's working on the aesthetic side of the campaign map. So go and check them out and you can see all the cool progress he's making. I'm not sure how the custom tool's going, but basically for anyone who doesn't know, there's 2 sides to the campaign map. One is the aesthetic stuff, which we can do already, and then there's the AI stuff, the technical stuff, the coding, which requires a custom tool because Creative Assembly haven't released the campaign editing tools publicly for Attila. So we're having to make our own. So that I'm not sure if work on that has begun or how it's going if it has, but rest assured it will be done. So for all those people who disbelieve us when we say that it can be modded, we'll finally prove you wrong. But yeah, if you want to catch those streams, sounds cheesy, but hit the bell, subscribe, or go to our Discord and become a follower, which you can do in the server setup channel. And then you'll be notified for future streams. But yes, Thomas, it will take some time. Thomas saying, how do you change the map for Rome Attila? I remember it was near impossible when Attila launched. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not the expert on that. I'm not an expert on modding as a whole, to be honest. I'm a humble 2D artist, so I have no clue. But do pop into the next stream, which might be Sunday. Next campaign stream. Froosty's doing a modelling stream where he's modelling these guys tomorrow. But it might be the day after that, in which case pop in and ask all your questions there, because that's when he does them for a really long time, like 4 hours or something ridiculous, which I could never possibly do. So do check them out, yeah. Caboose from Steam saying, will CA ever release the campaign tools publicly, or do you think they'd rather keep it a secret? Well, if they release it just after we've done it, we're not going to be too happy. It'll be really annoying having to put all that work in and getting it released, but I doubt they will. Again, I'm not knowledgeable on this at all, so I can't really tell you what their schemes and secrets are. And in terms of the... God, I don't like this at all. I don't like the way this is going. want to reduce the size of his head a bit. 75 viewers. Welcome, folks. Lunkanzu for ice. Hi, mate. Welcome. The ID Washer, interesting name, saying, are dwarves that thin? Is that are you talking about the unit card or the concept art? In which case, I mean, they're not thin. I mean, dwarves are fat or broad and what the thing is, the unfortunate thing about Attila is we have to, if we wanted to do the dwarves, give them the right proportions, make them much wider and bigger heads and bigger feet and stuff, it would mean making a whole new custom animation for them. And at the moment, we all our animators are having to work on the troll. So making a whole new set of custom animations for dwarves is a low priority. And after the troll's done, we're going to move to wargs and then Moomakil if they need work. But in the future, it may well be done. Dwarves, because dwarves at the moment look like shrunken humans. And Frusty's tried to fix that with his new dwarf head. And I think you've seen that in the previews channel. You might not have actually. But yeah, so do check out our previews channel where you can see all our most recent sneak peek things. And for anyone who's new to the stream, we're having, after this guy's done, we're going to do a sneak peek new unit for the mystery faction coming out next update. And you haven't seen any of the assets for them, or barely any. Oh, and his weapon's wrong, isn't it? So let's just change that weapon quickly. So it's a square. And if Frusty does does something slightly different on his model, I'm going to have to modify this. But that'll be a quick job. So it's a sort of angular. I should know this because I drew that thing, drew the concept next to me. So. And yeah, so if anyone who wasn't here at the beginning, thank you all for coming and supporting me on that stream where we drew these guys. It was really nice to have that interaction with you all. And I noticed again the chat, lots of people talking, and I missed that. The concept looks rather thin. Yeah, it is. It's because I traced myself, because I'm under there. Not because I can't draw figures, but it just saves so much time. So I'm not particularly broad, so that's possibly why. And yeah, it's something I'll try and. Why does that look slightly yellow? I'll try and fix that for future dwarven concepts, which will be coming soon. Me think, dang, a Rohan sneak peek. I never said it was Rohan. Never said that. It could be one of a number of factions. Got sort of crazy axe thing. I know I'm talking to myself as if I'm trying to study the concept, but yeah, I should absolutely know what I'm doing. $79. We're almost at 80. Wow. Thanks, folks, for the support. I thought Darwinian was already released. Darwinian's in the submod, yeah. So we're not. Oh, what happened there? Didn't mean to press that. They're the buttons on my drawing tablet thing. But I don't really use them. I use the keyboard commands. Geert Van Ward, hello, back again. Hello, I remember you from the several streams, actually. Taiki ZA, always glad to be part of these streams. Thank you. Well, we're glad that you guys all come and support us because it means a lot to us, a huge amount. Obviously, we can't take money, so the best thing to do is for you to show your support in these crazy numbers today. Enzo Kohlmeier saying, I watch only Myron streams. Well, that's very touching. Thank you. Do check out the other ones. They're really good. You put them on while you do something menial. It's just nice to... There was a really good stream the other day from Leo, actually, where I think it happened by accident, but it was just 3 or 4 of us devs and some community members in a chat in Discord, in a voice chat, while Leo was streaming. So basically the stream it's like a stream cast, is what I'm calling it. And I think, yeah, that was really chilled. And it removes the awkward bit of me trying to talk to no one. So if that's something you want to see in the future, I'm sure that's something we could do for any of the streams. If you want all the streams to be like that, do let us know. Go to the Discord and protest. Andrew Gardner saying, are the walls going to look like the hyenas they did in the Two Towers, or more like the wolves in The Hobbit? I think we're going to go with the wolves, because it's not usual that you say that The Hobbit is better than the Lord of the Rings, but in the case of the wargs, the Hobbit do look better. They do look more animated, big as they were, but the Hobbit ones look a little cartoony and comical. And I think we've got a modeller who started working on the warg model. So, and I'm not sure if he'll be previewed that or it'll be secret again, like the troll. But yeah, rest assured it is being worked on. Thomas saying, Hobbit faction. Well, unfortunately not. We've got 2 Hobbit units planned though, for any of you Hobbit fans. One of which is for the Reforged Realm of Arnor, and one of them are the stores from Anduin Vale. So unfortunately they're not a big part of the mod, and if there is a sort of Hobbit Bree faction, they would most likely be passive and sort of remain in their settlements. Macy Ferguson saying, I assume the secret faction is on Trello. Yeah, most of the factions that are coming soon are on Trello. I mean, the ones that are a long way off aren't on there yet, like Arnor, sadly, and Anduin Vale and stuff. But as soon as they sort of essentially, as soon as the modelers start working on them, they hop on there. They'll pop onto the public one. Lunkanzi's Flora saying, Myron, or you spelt my name crazily there, Myron, you've said, seems the most interactive with the community on the stream. Oh, thank you. I try and read everything. It's really nice to get all this positive feedback. So that's what keeps us going. And I think it's nice for you to have a connection with us developers, because before it just seemed a bit distant, if you know what I mean. You only sort of saw our previews that were ready and stuff. By the way, if you we have a sneak peek channel on Discord, which most of you won't know how to see it, but it's if you boost our server, then you get unlimited access to it, and we also have these sort of bot competitions. And if you win those competitions, you get access to the sneak peek channel, and it's basically for dumping work in progress shots. So all of us developers just dump all our work in progress things there, and you can see much closer, much more detailed what is going on behind the scenes. So do consider that. I think that's about the only way. Is boosting the server financial? I'm not sure, but if there is, that is about the only way you could support us financially, just because of the the immense copyright surrounding what we're doing. As soon as we start taking money, we're in very dangerous waters. And the chat, missed the chat again. To be honest, I like the wild looks in Lord of the Rings more than the Hobbit, says Caboose from Steam. They do look more real, probably because they were probably puppets, or the the heads that Gimli chops off and stuff were probably real. If I'm mistaken, if they're not real, they did an incredible job at the CGI. But real often does look better. Hence, the orcs, the Uruk-hai, and the Hobbit in the Lord of the Rings just look far superior to the ones in the Hobbit. Maybe it's not a fact that they look better, but they just look so much more relatable. You can tell there's someone in there under all that, and it connects with you more as an audience, I think. Yeah, it's that name again. The ID Washer says, what does a Photoshop license cost? Well, I'm on a student plan at the moment, but it's not cheap. Is the answer. And I only have it because it's something I do every day. I work on it a lot, 8 hours a day. Because I'm on a gap year and in lockdown, so there's not a huge amount I could do. So at the moment, it's totally worth it, but it is expensive, yeah. DJY saying canned. Is canned the mystery faction? Well, unfortunately, canned is not planned in the mod. I'm sure there's submods that will do that. I think there's several units for Rune that will be Candish. I think there's already some in the mod, some in game. Bane of the Steppes are from Cand, I think. The Steppes of Cand, if I recall correctly. And there's Variags. Variags are from Cand. So all your in-game Variag and Bane of Steppes units, I think, are Candish. Haven't been doing much on the concept, sorry, I keep getting distracted. Meaty saying, there won't be a Hobbit faction, but a couple of factions will have a Hobbit unit, yes. Are you planning on making custom generals like Aragorn, Gimli, and the others? Gomli, you've said. Thomas, yes, absolutely. Not a priority, unfortunately, because one custom general takes an equal amount of time to a unit. So the payoff isn't as great. But once we've got all the units out, that's absolutely going to be a priority, yeah. And that'll be fun to do some custom general concepts. Joe Charisma Blue. I've been patiently waiting for this masterpiece for years, and the day it's out will be amazing. Well, you can play the you can play at the moment, but of course, yeah, not all the factions are full, and some of the factions aren't there, and the campaign obviously is missing. Once the campaign's out, I think that'll be a big moment for us, even if it's a crappy alpha campaign. That'll be a big step forward for the mob. Joseph Maloney looking amazing as always, Myron. Thank you very much. Thank you. And yes, we have crazy viewers at the moment. It's been an incredible, good stream. Enzo Colmeyer saying, I tried watching the other ones, but for some reason I can't find myself looking. You can't find yourself sticking around for too long. No offense to Leo Frusti. Oh well, I mean that's very nice of you. Thank you. I don't know. I think Mega Blue Iron. He's doing our Mordor rework at the moment. I found his streams really engaging actually. But yeah, I put them on while I work when I'm around for them. Mega Blue Iron's ones are not always a great time for me anyway. I'm in England, so it's just as I'm having dinner is when he does his, so that isn't great. But I mean, gosh, okay, I apologise. This chat has gone mad. I'm gonna have to skip a few. I'll just read quickly through. Charlie Howard saying, "How's the progress on Harad?" Yes, so I'm working on the tier 2 at the moment. You'll know that Harad already has artwork, but we feel that it just doesn't quite work, you know. So I'm going to rework the entire faction. I'm going to start on tier 2, which is the guys you see on the Mumakil in the film, and then tier 3, which is, I mean, I'm going to have to make them up, but yeah. So I'm speeding through these. Boost the servers. What does that mean? If you go onto our Discord server and then you click the name at the top, you'll see Boost Server, and it will tell you what you can do there. Ghost Wolf, just download it, drag and drop, then start it. Not sure what we mean by that. Luke Hansi Flores, bro, I got to go. Sorry for the short stay and the misspelling I did. Have a good one and nice work. Thank you. Thank you very much. Could be some stream saying historically accurate. These guys are not historically accurate, no. Iron Hills or Oricani? Right, I'm speeding through this. So Ghost Wolf is a person. Apologies. Oh, terribly sorry. Yes, so our most recent updates. If you go onto our YouTube channel, there's one of our most recent videos is the 0.3.5 update. So do check that out, because that has, it's a minor update. It's not too big, but there's several new units, including the really cool Iron Hills Iron Guard. So do check that out. But the big update, you know, with these guys, with possibly trolls and stuff, that's coming. I'm not going to say soon. We try not to set, you know, proper concrete deadlines, because often we can't miss it. We miss it, and you know, people get disappointed. So we're not going to set a deadline, but work is happening. Solid work is happening. Charlie Howard saying, "Will you add Ambar to Rohan?" Absolutely, we will. Or have we already? Is the question. You'll have to wait and see. All the secrecy around Rohan is great fun. Fabian Harland, will you guys need any more help in the mod? So yeah, I haven't actually been plugging it as much this stream, because so many of you are interacting today. There's a channel on our Discord for recruitment. If you go over there and have a look, and there you'll see all the jobs. At the moment, you say you're good at Photoshop and Illustrator, but unfortunately we're sort of packed with 2D artists right now. We need 3D artists, because getting those 3D assets in game is the difficult part. I've sort of built up a massive backlog of concepts. Right, let's keep speeding through these poor comments that I've missed. So I'm terribly sorry if I've missed your comments from before where I had to speed through them. DJ White asking, will there be an option in game for Sauron to go from the eye to his physical form? I don't know about those kind of script technical things. And again, I think you'll have to, if you go over to the Discord and you ask all these questions that I'm not quite sure about, the guys that do the campaign will answer them for you and help you out. What program do the 3D artists modelers use? Says the ID Washer. I keep struggling on that name. Blender and 3ds Max, says Frusty. Yes. You like it. Okay, good. Frusty, the modeler, likes it. And that's all I need. Matthew Ferguson saying, lol, you almost need multiple people on the stream to answer one question while someone's working. Yes, yeah. In future, I might do that, where I sort of have a Discord call. We can get some developers in there. We can get some community members in there. And so they can focus on the questions while I do the stream, because this is I've been overwhelmed today by these incredible support. So big thanks to all of you for turning up. It's really warming. And apologies for the loud car that just passed, or motorbike. And so yeah, again, so these details aren't crazy, and they don't need to be. You just won't see them. When I go quiet, likewise, like I said, when I go quiet, I'm just trying to focus on the more technical bits of the, like this annoying little buckle which I've just covered. That's good enough. Let's lighten the belt a bit as well. The Iron Guard look fantastic, says Charlie Howard. Yeah, they do, don't they? They really do. And well, yeah, I won't say anything for the next update, of course. Yeah, so they've been given a new face, as Fruity says. They've got a new face and slightly been adjusted to look even more dwarvish. All the dwarves. So the dwarves are getting a huge amount of love from. Well, this is a dwarf here, but also Fruity is our dwarven modeler, one of our newest, most enthusiastic modelers. He's working faster than I am. You know, when I joined, I thought that 2D art was long, and then I realised that 3D modelling just takes years more than 2D. That's why only about 2 or 3 of my concepts have been made in game so far. But now Frusty's come along, he's completely disproven that by just pumping out unit after unit. It's incredible. And you'll see them all in the next update. Charlie Howard asking, will the Corsairs of Ambar be in the Harad roster? Yes, they will. To be honest, I'd be an advocate for giving them a separate faction like the Ardunaim in Divide and Conquer. Just because the designing them will be really, really fun for me as the concept artist. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm the concept artist as well, and we did this concept in the streams the other day. But yes, so Ambar is part of Harad roster at the moment, and how many units do they get? They get 2 lower tier Corsair pirate units. Then they get a sort of sword and board Ambar usurper kind of Gondor infantry style unit, and then they also get the Aduna Kori, which are the elite longsword wielding, heavy full plate, crazy lords. That will be amazing. I'm really excited to design them. But yeah, Harad in general, I think it's going to be quite a fun project to get them done. How was that looking? That I said I'd lighten the belt. I keep forgetting to do the things I say. I'm going to do. The ID. Oh, the ID was here. I was putting the S and the H. ID was here. I was saying the ID was here. Thank you. Thanks for clearing that up. Charlie Howard, thank you very much. DJY, what's the chances of modelling in Peter Jackson as a Corsair? Well, I mean, I think to be honest, him getting shot is the best reference photo we have of the Corsairs. So I'm absolutely going to model one of the Corsair, variations off Peter Jackson, and it would be a crime not to. Let's face it. When I do release the concept on the previews, I want to see how many Peter Jackson getting shot emojis we can get on the reaction. Taiki ZA, oh wow, you're really doing justice to the unit card. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, I enjoy unit cards. They're therapeutic. They're not as sort of concentration intensive as a proper concept. Have I got all the details? Let's just double. I haven't been looking at the concept actually recently, so let's just double check I've got everything. Let's get some more highlights on those scales. A weighing. Apologies. I support a separate Ambar faction. Good. Let the resistance grow. The Ambar resistance. Thomas saying, will there be Mechanics for the campaign, like the One Ring has been found, or others. I'm pretty sure the One Ring will be some kind of script there, yeah. But again, I'm not sure with the campaign. So any questions you have campaign related, either pop them in the Discord or check out our campaign map streams. I think the next one is Sunday evening in my time and European time. I think it's Sunday evening. Joseph Vetter saying, will there be dwarves riding goats? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, as well as it being a horrendously unbalancing thing where dwarves will be just supremely overpowered, it also breaks the law. Tolkien says that they don't. So that's our primary thing. I've managed to catch up with the chat, thank God. If you do say something, I will get around to it, unless I have to rush through all the chats that I missed before. But I will absolutely get to what you're saying. I reckon there's a bit of lag between me actually speaking and you hearing it. But yes, I will see it. Joseph Vetter saying, will Tauriel, Legolas and Killy be a 3-hero unit? I don't think Tauriel's going to be in the game. Legolas is definitely a thing. Killy's dead, because we're setting it in the time of the War of the Ring. So Killy's long dead, sadly. Custom generals for the Woodland Realm will be, I think it's just Thranduil and Legolas. And custom generals for Erebor will be Dane Ironfoot, of course, Balin, and Thorin. And that's not Thorin Oakenshield, that is Thorin Dane's son, who I think took over after he died. The ID was here. Getting it right now. Did you forget the jewellery and the beard? I'm not going to do that now, just because I don't think Froosty's going to be able to do that, because it would involve having to make a whole new beard, which is a lot of work. But if he does do that, I'll change it. Yeah, absolutely. Jake Armitage, it's really coming out cool. Congrats, Mara. Thank you very much, Jake. I'll mod you after the stream. Sorry, I can't do it now, but I'll make you a moderator after. Andrew Gardner, how many people are there working on the unit balancing, like their attack defense? So that's Maestro's area of expertise, but he also works with our testers. So basically, all our testers give feedback on balancing and potentially Wizlet Man. I'm not sure what his role actually is in the modding thing, but he has been involved with that as well. He's also a tester, actually. That's why. Massey Ferguson, Tolkien is the law and God in this universe. Couldn't agree more. Thomas asking, will the dwarves get any cavalry-esque units, or they'll just be limited to infantry? They've got one unit at the moment, which is the Dale Escort mercenary things. I don't know. It's not a great unit, and we want to keep it that way, because otherwise they would just be too powerful. So it makes sense from a lore and a gameplay perspective. So double the argument for you. And of course, it's not a democracy with the mod, unfortunately. So if we say we're not doing it, we're not doing it. And yeah, Frosty confirming that Dane II, Thorin III, and Balin are going to be the custom generals for Erebor. Teutonic Knights saying, didn't Thorin Stonehelm break the siege of Erebor? The siege of Erebor, I know, was where Dane died. It was during the War of the Ring, while the siege of Minas Tirith was going on and stuff. Erebor and Dale were sieged by Easterlings, and that's where Bard's grandson, I think he was King Brand and Dane died together. But yeah, Thorin III was Dane's son, and he took over after that. It's my limited knowledge on the lore. I should know more about lore because I work with a lore YouTuber. Lore of the Rings, very great name. So I should know more about Lord of the Rings lore, but it's quite limited, I'm afraid. So even that little detail, I mean, you won't even notice that. That does look bad, actually. I've gone silent because I'm concentrating again. I'm going to call it a day for this unit card, just because I want to get onto the second one, which is going to be the fun one. It's not as elite as these guys, but hopefully you'll be pleased to see it. It's the first time you're seeing a full asset. And I've been missing the chat again. Balin was dead by the time of the War of the Ring, actually. So I don't know why he's a general as well, but you know, it sounds good. He's getting a cool mithril-clad bodyguard, which is going to be fun to do as well. Marcy Ferguson saying, do you have enough testers? If not, how do you join? Marcy, if you head to our Discord, there's a channel called Recruitment there. So have a read of that. I'm not sure what roles are currently full and what are being searched for at the moment, but do have a read of that. It'd be cool to have your help. And remember, folks, if any of you do want to help, you can either do that or you're just supporting us, giving us lots of good feedback and always being there and showing up at streams like this and stuff. It just really means the world to us as modders. So that's such a good way of helping. Just get some little bits of brightness on these scales, and then let's call that a day with this guy. Joseph Vetter saying, will you be able to retake Moria with a group of dwarves? I think so. Well, I mean, I know that you get a special mithril unit if you do. I'm not sure how the mechanics are going to work though. But yeah, all that stuff, campaign scripts and stuff, it's a fairly long way off because we're only just sort of working on the campaign tool, and so we haven't really put much thought into that. Dark Novaz saying Nova Z, I think is what. Terrible at these names. God, I wish I could colour so nicely. Well, it's down to practice. It's learning about colour and stuff it just takes a really long time of just experiencing stuff and knowing what works well and what doesn't and stuff. So it's just it's unfortunately practice. It's not talent. It's all practice, is my belief. And there's Froosty's in the chat explaining how the retaking of Moria will work as a mechanic. Enzo Cormar saying, I have to go, but hopefully I'll be back before the end. Well, yeah, hopefully you can catch this mystery unit that we can have a look at in about 2 minutes. Teutonic Knight saying, reclaim the ancient halls of Durin. Yeah, that's going to be enjoyable. I'm not sure how big a part of the Erebor campaign that is, because obviously that's a long way away from Erebor. But we'll see, because I don't know either. So I'm going to call that a day for that. And I might touch it up off camera and stuff. But let's move on to the next unit. And there's still 73 of you, so yeah, I mean, thank you so much for showing up, folks. And your support means a lot to us. And to anyone who's new to Rise of Mordor, do have a look in the description below, because there we have all our social media. And if any of you want to see more of my art, I plug this a lot, but my art social media is in the description as well. And let's move on to the next unit card. I'm just gonna, which is, of course, Rohan. Most of you guessed it. This is the first time I think you're ever seeing an in-game full figure, unless I'm much mistaken. But yeah, there you go. That is the tier 2 Yeoman of the Mark, is I believe what they're called. And our modeler, High on T, he was in the chat earlier. He has been working really hard on making these really cool assets and all these kind of variations and stuff, so they look fantastic, I'll say that much. And I'm sure you can agree with me after looking at this. And so let's get a bowman icon up. Actually, I'm just going to use, they're pretty similar to actually these guys. Let's open, yeah, these guys are the tier 1, these guys are tier 2. So let's open that. And we're going to completely redraw this. Death and the Rohan, death, death. People are shouting death, and I hope you don't mean to me. If it's to the orcs, the orc horde, then I couldn't agree more. Right, so these are, I'm just going to call them yeomen. Let's get straight to it. I'm excited for these guys. It's been a while since I did the Rohan cards. Oh wow, that was good. It's just been quite rough at the moment. I don't want to too. Joseph Vetus screaming that he is no man. Why am I'm on the eraser? What do you all think, folks? What do you? I mean, there's a lot of. Oh, Dark Nova Z. Thank you. Thanks for following the art station. Fatty McDirty saying, not gonna lie, I think Rohan had the most badass moments in the movie. Well, yeah, I agree. I think that the scene with them coming over the hill is such a good scene, and Helm's Deep, of course, as well. They take part in 2 of the best battles. So yeah, definitely, and they just look so good. I'm very glad that I got to do the. We had our old concept artist Robbie McSweeney do some of the concepts that you've probably seen, but I'm very glad I got to do some of the more elite ones because they were fun. Spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. Teutonic Knight coming out with that flawless quote. Taiki ZA, thank you, thanks for showing up, thank you. Joseph Vetter, Theoden was far more excited about dying in the books than he is in the movies. He was much older in the, because in the films he is sort of magically cured by Gandalf and he becomes this young hero again. In the books he doesn't actually get any younger. He's already an old man, and he's very tired but he's still great in the books. What are we doing wrong? Oh, we need a coif, doesn't he? But yeah, Harad would greatly appreciate your thoughts on these guys. So I mean, if you go over to the Discord and Oh, about to run out of battery. If you go to the Discord and give the server all your feedback, he'd really appreciate that. Simon Gerard saying, when I saw those unit cards, I was so impressed because they look so amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, they're really fun to do. And Game Ahead saying, hi again. Hello. How many factions are in the game? I can't remember. If you go over to the Trello, you can count the public ones there, and there's about 4 or 5 private ones. So whatever's there plus 4 or 5. The private ones are Arnor, Ered Luin, Anduin Vale, Gundabad, perhaps the Misty Mountains as well, I'm not quite sure. Those are the private ones anyway. Footslover 1 saying, will there be a version of it playable in the coming year? The campaign, no, unfortunately. We're still working hard on that. But the actual in-game unit battles, we can already play them. Check out our recent YouTube video, which is a sort of update overview of the 3.5 update, which you should all probably have by now. Teutonic Knight saying will they have short bows or composite bows? Is that Rohan or is that someone else? Rohan don't have composite bows. Composite bows are where they sort of curve forward like that and back, which looks more Easterling kind of Candish style. Harad as well, I think, has. So yeah. So I know this isn't an elite unit, but hopefully it's still exciting to you to see. Oh, and he's got the coif up past his neck, hasn't he? So let's get that in. Game Ahead saying, there's a frequently asked questions channel on the Discord as well. So yeah, it should all be fairly self-explanatory to anyone new joining. There's a server setup channel where you can give yourself more roles, which open more chats, more channels. And if you give yourself the follower role, you'll be notified when we do our next streams. Or you could subscribe and hit the bell. Which feels very weird to be saying it after hearing it so many times. It feels odd to actually now say it. But yeah, our YouTube's been growing fairly well. Andrew Gardner, yeah, Rohan uses short bows. Sirak Yilmaz says, I'm a legend. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure you are as well. And I mean, all of you are, for coming and supporting us, is all I can say. It still blows me away, all the support we get. And we're still at 75 viewers, so yeah, thank you so much for coming along and joining me today. It means the world to us. Oh, and he's got little van braces, hasn't he? Get that mail slightly brighter. And yeah, I'm one of those historical fans that refuse to say chainmail, because the correct term is actually mail. It's just called mail armor. So I'm one of those guys. DJY is saying, as I'm working from home, streams like yours get me through the day. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you very much. No, thank you for tuning in. yeah, it means a huge amount to us. But yeah, it's also really nice to have so much community interaction. Because yeah, before I was saying that before, but it just felt distant. You know, the relationship between us developers and you guys just felt slightly distant because obviously we weren't interacting at all, and all you saw was the finished preview and here's an update, download it. But now we're sort of working in tandem with you guys, and you're seeing work in progress as it develops. So it's nice, yeah, it's really nice. Game Ahead saying, excellent, I look forward to further streams. I will be modding Battle for Middle-earth and getting Attila for Rise of Mordor. Hopefully I'll be able to review soon. But it looks insanely promising. Oh, thank you very much. Again, such nice words. Thank you. And yeah, if you are interested in, or anyone here is interested in helping out, there is the recruitment channel on our Discord, which there's a whole list of things there. So go and have a read of that if you've got even just basic skills in Blender. We have internships where you'll get a tutor of sorts that. Oh, what did I do there? I don't want to do that actually. There we go. You'll get a tutor and they'll sort of guide you. We've got some really skillful people in the team who can give some really good help to anyone who's struggling a bit. Harad saying, gents, keep in mind that this specific model is one of many variations that will be appearing in the unit. So yes, so actually you're not seeing a full unit, you're seeing a quarter of a full unit. So we're not even revealing that. So we're going to keep it secret, I'm afraid. So any of you Rohan fans, stay tuned, hold your horses, and quite literally, because they will be coming. They are looking fantastic. And yeah, Harad, our Rohan modeler, for anyone who doesn't know. Valentinian the Great. Watch out, the vambraces are burgundy red. They are actually, yeah. And it looks good, yeah. I will darken them a little bit, or saturate them a little bit more. The ID was here, a wholesome stream. Thank you very much. Dead like me. I hope I'm not dead like you. Now there is progress on the actual campaign gameplay for the mod. Do you guys look into mods like 1212 AD or DEI for inspiration for mechanics? To be honest, I'm not the person to ask for that. And you want to, ideally, if you catch one of our campaign streams, which is Sunday, I think. Sunday is a campaign stream, I believe. So if you head over there on Sunday and ask Leo about that, I'm sure he'll be able to answer. But I'm like I say, I'm a humble 2D artist, so I have no idea. But I think there is a few mechanics already being worked out. Because just because we don't have a campaign doesn't mean we can't plan for it when it's ready. Andrew Gardner saying, I love how you guys have started doing these streams, by the way. Yeah, I really enjoy them as well. It's nice to have that interaction. Really nice. And they've been, you've been getting almost daily content. I know that tomorrow is Froosty's stream. Yesterday was Mega's Mordor stream. So tomorrow Froosty will be doing these guys. He'll be working on them. For anyone who just joined, we did these guys just now. We modelled that. We drew that, sorry. So Froosty will be modelling those veterans of Ered Mithrin again tomorrow. And on Sunday we have the campaign stream, like I just said. So yeah, so 4 days of non-back-to-back streams. So look out for that. Dodgy Kingdom saying, how many of the Gondorian captains from the books will be in-game, such as Prince Imrahil, Angbar, Faramir, Furlong? As custom generals, I'm not sure. It might just be Boromir and Faramir as custom generals. But in the campaign, I'm sure there's many of the... If there is a custom general that is prominent in the books, it'll be in the campaign. We wouldn't just make up our own Gondorian generals. Angbar is Angbar the Fearless. I know he's the guy that in the books he was the only guy in Gondor that who wasn't afraid of the army of the dead. So that's why he's called Ambar the Fearless. He was from Lamadan, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm not sure. But there's a whole host of Gondoran generals that are named, almost one from every fiefdom. So that's probably the faction with the biggest amount of named generals. Maybe, I think that either that Rohan or Lind or Imladris has a lot of them as well. But yeah, like I said before, having a custom general takes making a custom general. Sorry, takes just as much time as a whole new unit. So at the moment, it's not a priority, unfortunately. But once all our units and factions are done, then you'll see concepts and models of custom generals. Some dark texture on that. And there's a sort of horse head there on the end, but we don't really see that. Like so. DJY is saying, is there a possibility of the mouth of Sauron appearing? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. Probably. Harndar Ball saying, the unit card looks like he's ready to shank someone with an arrow. Yeah. He does look quite grim, doesn't he? And Dodgy Kingdom confirming, yes, he is from Lamadan. Angmar the Fearless is from Lamadan. And in the books, actually, Aragorn sailed down. Because in the books, the Battle of Pelennor Fields was so much different. In that Aragorn didn't actually use his army of the dead at Minas Tirith. He used them in Lamadan. Oh, in Linhir, I think. Linhir is the town almost bordering Harad. And they were facing huge amounts of forces from Harad. And Aragorn came there. And the Corsairs were there as well, sorry, yeah. So Aragorn came and defeated the Corsairs and the Haradrim. And then he got all the forces from Dol Amroth and Angbor's men from Lamadan and Pelagia and stuff. And then he sailed on the Corsair ships up the Anduin to Minas Tirith. And that's why when they saw the Anduin ships, they almost gave up. Not the Anduin ships, the Corsair ships. They almost gave up. Rohan, who was fighting there, almost gave up, and then Aragorn came off and nice big heroic charge. It would have been cool to see some Dol Amroth units in the film, but alas, we didn't. Don't like his mouth at all. There we go, another nice long lore rant from you. Oh, the sheet guard is... Ah, yeah, thank you, thanks. Didn't notice that. The cheat guard is steel with a bronze trim. Sirac Yilmaz saying, when will it be ready? Is that the mod as a whole? Might still be a while, I'm afraid. But it's a bronze trim, did you say? Ah, bronze. Let's get some. Oh, it's this colour, isn't it? Looks like he has a little moustache now. Let's give him a little beard, just for the sake of it. blonde beards. Here we go. Oh, his cheek guards look horribly wonky. Simon Gerard saying, do I plan on making any other unit casts today? I was going to redo one actually, because you've seen me making them from scratch, but you haven't seen me redoing the old ones. I was going to do the Citadel Guard, but I don't have time now. Got to go and have dinner in about half an hour. Which is already quite late for me actually in England. Something I found quite interesting actually when I've been in Germany and stuff, that dinner isn't a big meal at Abendessen. You know, lunch is the big meal of the day, which, you know, to me in England, dinner and breakfast are the two important meals. So it's really, I mean, completely Lord of the Rings unrelated, of course, but just something I just thought of that, you know, us in England don't actually give much thought to. Always found it strange. Lemony Aid saying, in your opinion, is the mod based on the books or the films? The aesthetic is purely the films. I've done some work with I still work with a lore YouTuber and I do sort of these character illustrations that are inspired by the books. And they're cool, but they all look the same, because if you don't know that Tolkien, in his lore accurate world, they all wear mail, chainmail, some people call it, mail. Because, you know, plate armor wasn't around in his thing. And he was a Saxon professor, so they didn't have plate armor back then. So it makes sense why he sort of thought that. But from an aesthetic point of view, it doesn't look too great. And that's why we've gone with the film. Just looks so cool. Weta did an incredible job. So that was a long way of saying, yes, it's inspired by the film, but the lore behind it is inspired by the books. Hence why we won't be adding goat riders, and I'm not sure what else we're not going to be doing. But I mean, it's stuff like Azog. Azog is long. He's not going to be in it anyway because it's set in the War of the Ring, of course. But if it was set in the Hobbit time, I don't think he'd be in it, because it's a break from the lore. Because if you didn't know, in the lore, he's dead long before the Hobbit. Sirac Yomaz saying, I love you. Well, I love you all too. I really do. Harad saying, first or second breakfast? That is a very good question, you know. There are days when I have two breakfasts. When I get up early, I have a small breakfast at 7, then nice big breakfast at 11. I feel very Hobbit-like. It's my dream to one day, in the back of my garden, build a Hobbit hole. And, you know, do a really good job on it. Spend some time on it. And then I could just go in there and sit in that little Hobbit garden, and, you know, with the windows open on a summer's day, and do my work from there. And cook my second breakfast on a nice authentic fire and stuff. Man, that would be the dream. Absolute dream. Now you've unlocked the full Myron rant mode now, so I'm just going for it. Hard Ball saying 11th Supper. How are hobbits not horribly obese? That's an incredible question. I mean, they do some farming work, I guess. They're not big on. Are they big on exercise? You don't really get much ripped hobbits, do you? So I mean, God knows. Some kind of insane metabolism, I guess. They are all in the books. I think they're all pretty chubby. But yeah, it's a good question why they're not morbidly obese. Unless they lead fairly, balanced diets. They don't seem to. I mean, they don't eat a lot of. I'm not sure, to be honest. I really don't know. It's all about organic, healthy food. It is all homegrown and stuff, isn't it? It's all grown locally. Man, it would be nice. It was so nice to live there, wouldn't it? In like a little community where you'd have a. It's just so peaceful and people are friendly and then the food's good and there's pubs that aren't closed because of COVID and stuff. Imagine that. Hopefully that look. Oh, he looks a bit. He looks a bit like a goth at the moment, doesn't he? With those dark, menacing eyes. So let's give him some slight more skin under there. DJY saying, just had a look at the Trello page. Great work. Yes, again, really interested to see what Dol Guldur will turn out to look like. I'm guessing Kamal will be the faction leader. Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, so our Trello page is down below if you want to have a look at all the planned factions. It's great when you guys give me these plugs ready-made. But yeah, so I mean, all our social media is linked below. And my art social media if you would like to see more of that. But yes, I think Kamal will be faction leader. Greetings from Turkey. Sirak Yilmaz, greetings. You've been here before though, but yeah. Nice to see we have a nice diverse audience. So this is basically, let's move on, we've been on that helmet for a while. He seems quite, so let's get rid of some of that there. He's got an incredibly fat neck. So. And anyone who's wondering why these I'm magically changing between tools is because I'm using the keyboard shortcuts, so you can't actually see what tool I'm pressing on this sidebar, just because it takes time. Keyboard shortcuts are everything. And that nasal comes down a bit more, doesn't it? And there's stuff happening in the chat that I can't see. I'm going to check that in a second. That looks okay. Let's. His head looks massive. That's the thing with these cars. The proportions are off. They're completely non-human. So I have no idea. Oh, he says we got a I haven't actually. We got one dislike. Ah, curses. I think I think that's the first dislike I've ever gotten on my streams, which is I'm pretty pleased by that. But and fair play. If you did give that dislike, what happened there? We did something bad. Let's do that. Do let me know what you think I could improve at, because a lot of artists tend to be quite, they tend to avoid taking criticism, but I'm all for it, absolutely all for criticism. I really like try and improve based off what people say. So I'm always up for feedback on my art and stuff. So don't hesitate. Who dares? Hater's gonna die. How large is my screen? At the moment, I'm on a MacBook laptop, just because I am in between PCs at the moment. But I've got my next PC here next to me, which should be ready by next stream. I think it's 15-inch laptop, so it's quite big. It's a 2015 MacBook Pro, so it's not terrible by any means, but it means I can't run Attila or anything like that. Harden Ball saying the beard looks too similar to the skin colour. Yes, it does. That's a good point. Let's get that. And should we darken that? No, we want to just change the saturation, which is that, isn't it? I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to darken it, because that looks really bright like that. But now, oh, that looks shocking. Well, he could be a ginger guy. Let's give him a slightly ginger beard. Yeah, let's do that. The thing is, yeah, because Rohan, obviously, they look awesome, as all of you know, but they are quite similar in terms of the aesthetic. They all have fairly similar helmets and fairly similar, obviously they've all got light fair hair, except Peter Jackson. Strangely enough, Peter Jackson is the only Rohirrim who has dark hair. You see him throwing a spear in Helm's Deep as one of his many cameos. So obviously I'm trying to make them each card look unique, just from a gameplay perspective, where you as the player need to be able to tell the difference between all your units, and that's no good if they all look the same. Even if they're completely faithful to the in-game model, if they all look the same, that's just makes life really difficult for you guys. What you're saying? Oh, I've missed a lot. Harmonty's saying, I think it's because we haven't shown the Rohirrim Elite. Is that the dislike? Yeah. Well, the Elite, oh, just you wait. I think you've seen some of the helmets, actually. The Medjugorje Guard helmets, they look really cool. But it's incredible to see all those incredible designs coming into the Discord. But yes, I imagine we will keep that fairly secret until the next update. Game ahead, most likely because there are no Hobbit factions yet. Oh, that explains things, doesn't it? That, of course. Hobbit factions are. I'm not gonna talk about Hobbit factions. I'm gonna get 10, 20 dislikes. And now I said that, people are gonna do it, aren't they? So let's do some. I think he's got some bolts. He's got a little nut there and there. They're a bit too much at the moment. Just little subtle details. Luke Ryan is saying most of the developers are college or university students. How do you guys have enough time to do that? Well, I'm on a gap year at the moment, so when I go to university next year, I probably won't have as much time, which is sad. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of course, our real life work comes first. So times when there's lots of exams and academic pressure and stuff, the modders just tend not to have enough time to work on stuff. So progress is slow when times like that are happening. But stuff like Christmas holidays or summer holidays, even better. Those times are super productive because everyone's home, everyone's got free time. And so, I mean, yeah. So just wait. I mean, again, I said that before. We don't tend to give news on the next update, but work is still progressing, even though we're sort of back. People are back to university and school stuff now. It's still progressing pretty fast, which is great. It's really, really inspiring to see that much work coming in. What's everyone saying? Matthew Overson saying, "You're a golden-haired..." Oh, not the mic. "You're a golden-haired man hailing from Denmark. Welcome." Teutonic Knight saying, "How many cameos did Jackson have?" Well, in the Fellowship of the Ring, he's the carrot-eating man in Bree, as far as I know. He is the Helm's Deep spear thrower, the miraculously black-haired man of Rohan, in the second one, Two Towers, and he's the Corsair pirate that gets shot, which is probably his biggest, most revealing one. But he's in so much makeup anyway, you can't really tell. That's in the Return of the King, and in the Hobbit he's... Oh, I don't know. He's the carrot man again in the second Hobbit. I know that, just because it's funny, and he's a Lake Town. He's also a Lake Town spy. One of those Lake Town spies in the Hobbit in the second one as well. I don't think he's in the third one. And he's the Dwarven miner. In the first one, he's the Dwarven miner that finds the Arkenstone. That is him. Oh, and he's got some tassets, I think they're called. Another dislike. Oh, it's because I said people would dislike it then, I assume. I'm going to continue watching Lord of the Rings. That is something I could relate to. I wish I... It's been a while since I've watched them, actually. It's high time. And that leather isn't... I think it was an older concept, an older previous unit that has this sort of more red cuirass. So I'm going to just select all of that, and we're going to change the opacity a bit. Like so. Doesn't have to be hugely rough, so let's just... Not the opacity, what am I talking about? The saturation. Saturation, and then let's get that slightly brighter. I didn't know you could have these photo editing things on keyboard commands, so I kept having to go up to image and then adjustments, then each one for every single action. But of course you've got the commands and stuff, the control things. Rohan Duana, will there be a Bjorning faction? Yes, there will be. That the Anduin Vale. It won't be made entirely of Bjornings. You've got sort of three types. You've got the Bjornings, which tend to be more heavy infantry, or shock infantry, sorry. Big axes and things like that. And you've got the Men of the Vale, which are more... I guess we can make them archers. And then you've got the Eotheod, which are the cavalry. And those are the people that were Rohan's ancestors, I think, as far as I know. So it's going to be quite a varied roster again, and it'll be nice to... I'm looking forward to designing it. It's going to be a sort of Saxon, Anglo-Saxon, like Rohan, Anglo-Saxon, crossed with medieval, I think. It's one of those factions where, of course, there's nothing. We know nothing about it. We see Bjorn in the Hobbit, but that's long before the Anduin Vale's repopulated again. So by Lord of the Rings, the War of the Ring, it's going to be completely different there. So we don't know what it's like. So I'm going to have fun designing the aesthetic for that. What are folks saying? Tasset's upper leg armor, yeah. Which Lord of the Rings, live action or the animated movies? Ah, live action, of course, and the extended. If anyone doesn't watch the extended edition, I mean, I don't know what to say to you really. That will probably get me another dislike, but I'm sorry if you don't watch the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings films. Hobbit, I don't mind. I don't watch the extended Hobbits either. But I mean, if you don't watch the extended Lord of the Rings, what are you doing with your life? And Luke Ryan is saying, what faction are you looking forward to playing the most? I don't know. I like Gondor. I do like Gondor. Although Arnor is my favourite faction so far I've designed. And I mean, you haven't seen them, and you can't see them on the Trello, of course, but they just it's like a better Gondor in a way. These little tassets have rivets in them, don't they? As a concept artist, I need to know more armor terminology. I'm fairly good on the historical stuff, but I mean, I am trying to improve. And if any of you are historical accuracy fans, like I said, Anduin Vale is going to be fairly historically inspired, and also the Arnor lower tiers, which are sort of Bree kind of Eriador generic troops, they're going to be really inspired by history as well. And if I do end up designing some, Breeland Hobbit troops, I think Bree, I want to give them a really sort of, I don't know, Italian Gothic sort of 15th century style. To any of you who don't understand historical stuff, then that probably sounds like a load of rubbish. Freezy saying Ered Luin. Wait, who said this? If someone mentioned Ered Luin is a planned faction, but it's not a priority. Because, of course, it's not in a great place in terms of gameplay. I know that, I mean, Divide and Conquer has it, and that seems to work well, but then they've got a separate Angmar faction, so they're natural enemies, of course. But we don't have that, and so we don't really know who they'll fight. So if they are in the game, they will be just a passive faction, probably. Like the Hobbits and Breeland. So that means, I mean, they won't have a huge roster. It's on the private one again. Sorry. But yeah, so if they are there, that'd be nice. I'm an advocate for having Ered Luin as a faction. Andrew Gardner agreeing. Extended is 100% better. Yes, of course. Tamas, welcome to the stream. Massey Ferguson saying Angmar for the Iron Crown. Absolutely, yeah. Teutonic Knight saying, what about the winged Arnor helmets? I'm not sure what you mean. Is that a lore accurate thing? Something from the books, rather? Because I know the crown of Gondor is winged, but I'm not. Oh, of course. What am I talking about? These things, right? These things. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be a massive part. That is for any of you who don't know, missed the last stream. This is the tier 3 sort of main line infantry for Arnor, and you'll see these guys finish soon. Again, another sneak preview for you faithful YouTube watchers. So yeah, that'll be this armor here. I think is going to be the main one, and they'll all have helmets like that. And then that might be a captain helmet. That might be just for the pike units. I like that sash. I like the idea of a sash for a pike unit. Don't know why. Just I think it looks nice. But yeah, so I'm absolutely loving Arnor. Great fun. Let's continue with this though. Almost finished actually. We're not. And I'm going to have to wrap it up in about 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. He's got some. Let's add that little bit of mail there. And that quiver's on the wrong side, isn't it? I'm getting rid of the bowstring, but that's fine. Let's get rid of that and paste that. Don't need that there, do we? Oh, what are we doing? Yes, we want to apply that. Quiver's not a huge part of that concept, that's fine. Let's extend his body out because he looks a bit empty on that side now. And we can get some more mail in. Somebody nice saying, I don't know why, but I love the prologue helmets. I think everyone does, to be honest. I was worried that, you know, making Arnor in the Third Age would mean we have to make new helmets for them, but I'm very glad that we're able to get these classic helmets in. It doesn't make sense at all from a perspective if you look at it from like evolution in terms of weaponry, because that, you know, that's madness. Why would you keep the same in history? That just doesn't happen. But in Tolkien's crazy world, things seem to stay still for years. Although my theory is that Rohan would have gotten gunpowder. After seeing what happened at Helm's Deep, they would have put all their scientists into making gunpowder, and they would have become a dominant faction and conquered everyone, is my theory. Andrew Gardner agreeing that he likes the sash for the pike unit. Thank you. I think it's something medieval to. I probably saw it somewhere there. One of the maybe the Dol Amroth pike units have a sash. I'm not sure. What sort of the detailing on that? It's just sort of lines, isn't it? Like that. Looking from a distance. That's alright. There's an absence of green actually in these guys, which is strange for a unit from Rohan. To be honest, I'm a big fan of the using red for Rohan, because I mean, and it's lore accurate actually. I mean, you'd think that Rohan only has green, but the West Fold, Erkenbrand, is who will be a custom general. He is from the West Fold. He has a red shield, so we sort of take that as a indication in the lore that these guys would his men would also have red shields. And you know, obviously from a gameplay perspective, that adds loads of nice variation into the roster. You know, a little red touch every now and again just makes all the green. It stands out from the green and tidies things up. And yeah, Messi Ferguson, typical Anglo-Saxon re-engineering gunpowder to take over the known world. Very much the case, I think. Although, of course, they didn't do that in the Fourth Age. It's weird if you think of Numenor as Rome, you know, a vast empire wealthy empire that suddenly gets destroyed. It's corrupted by religion and greed and division, and then it gets destroyed. In Rome's case, it got sacked, but Numenor's case got sunk under the sea. If you think about that, and then the sort of time period Lord of the Rings is sitting in, it's only several hundred years between them. Lord of the Rings is set in kind of Dark Ages / early Middle Ages, so I mean it's not long between them and the Romans. So from if you compare that to the development from real life, it was only a few hundred years, as opposed to Lord of the Rings, which has just stayed in that state for a horribly long time. But I like that at the same time. It's a interesting take on But I don't think he was that much into historical accuracy and stuff. Do let me know if I ramble, by the way. I sort of go on a massive long rant about something and sort of forget what I'm talking about originally, and then just continue for some length of time. Hornburg Garrison are all red, says Harad. Yes, they are a Westfold unit. Helm's Deep is in the Westfold. So they've got red shields, red tunics and stuff. They were great fun to design. I think they were my first, our first viral post on Reddit. Not viral, but it was a successful post that got lots of traction on the Total War Reddit. So that was nice to see. And so, what else is everything? Awkward Saxon saying, you guys could copy the trebuchets from 12 AD for Gondor. That would be awesome. Yeah, as Harad says, Gondor already has a custom trebuchet, but also we haven't really got into the habit of asset sharing. It's just not something we've done recently, really. There's been one or two, but I don't think we've actually ever used anything. It's all been... Because obviously working from different mods, 12 AD is for Attila as well, so that works. But, other Lord of the Rings mods like Kingdoms of Arda and Realms in Exile and Third Age, Divide and Conquer, stuff like that, they're all different games. And it doesn't, it's hard to transfer models between that, and it requires almost as much work as making one. So there's just no point. If it does work well, we would try and reach deals and stuff, but I'm not sure. That's not my department anyway. Ghost Wolf saying, what do you think of the Dwarves? I love them. We did this unit card, which was the Ered Mithrin Veterans. We did that just before we started the Yeoman. And yeah, Dwarves have been getting loads of love. Frusty's the modeler. We've got both me and Edred working on Dwarven concepts. So yeah, Dwarven fans, it's your day. Meaty asking, what faction am I doing right now? What faction do you think this is? It's Rohan. The mystery faction was Rohan, yes. This is the first ever full figure you've seen. And maybe the last until the next update, you never know. But the support was good from this live stream. I enjoyed this, so you never know. I might well do more of this in the future. And if there's Rohan unit cards that need to be made, you might well see more Rohan. Victim, I speaking in Russian. Oh, Hans, he's joining in Russian. How much am I getting paid for your prediction? You're getting paid in the glorious knowledge of knowing that Rohan is coming in the next update. And the lovely sight of this excellently made unit here is what you're getting paid for. Is paid for that prediction, which I don't think it's very hard to predict that. The factions coming next update are... Well, it's Rohan. Could possibly be Lothlorien as well. I'm not sure what Manu's progress is on that. But those are the two new factions. And obviously Erebor is getting a huge amount of reworking and love at the moment. So they may well be complete by next faction thing as well. I think that's Frusty's goal, is to complete Erebor. Complete Erebor by next update as well. So, and the Troll. So it might be... it will be a big update for you. Will the Rohan units be good? Well, the Rohan units will be... They won't be good. They'll be excellent, man. Mr. Dinkles, bigger stones for the trebuchets would have been nice. Because I'm not sure. That's not my area really. They will be good. Rohan will be excellent. Anyone who doubts Hanti's skill is crossing me. He spends a long time on these things, so don't you doubt it. Don't you doubt him. Hopefully the next update comes out sometime in the next few years. Well, we'll have to see. Like I keep saying, expect it to come out in 2070, and then you'll never be disappointed. We tend not to give update predictions because obviously we sometimes can't meet them, and then it upsets the fans who expect things. So we're just gonna wait on that one. And I'm 10 minutes past my time, so I need to start to run things off now. I think that card's fairly. That beard's a bit too orange, I think. The new update is not that far away, so yeah, it's not that far away. And by saying that, it could be not that far away. It could be a month. It could be 6 months. You never know, but it's promising. Things are looking great. I can tell you that for a fact. Give him some nice messy beard like that. Looks a little too dark now. Okay, so that is. I'm going to call that finished. I mean, they don't need that much detail. Them being small makes it just super easy to finish these things. And I might add some more detail off camera. But yeah, you'll see these uploaded onto the Trello page soon. What's folks saying? Rise of Mordor 2070, yeah. 2077. 2077. You're happy with waiting a long time to get an update? For a large update. Well, I mean, you might not even have to wait for a long time. The next update is coming out soon, and it won't be a small. This one will be a massive one. Make the beard dirty blonde. I don't have time to do that. I need to go to dinner now, unfortunately. But yeah, it will. I think we've just hit 7,000 Discord members. So yeah, we're still steadily growing. So the campaign map will continue in development, and obviously Leo's doing his excellent campaign streams, and the tool is being worked on. So do rest assured. And by the way, I'm calling it a day there for these guys. So that's the stream essentially finished for the day. But yeah, so do remember to check out the links in the description if you haven't already. And I was suggesting there for the bracer, yeah. So I will go off camera. I will go in and make these guys look much better. Because again, obviously, I can't work fully, with my concentration divided. So off camera, I'll make them look better, and you'll see them on the Trello soon. But other than that, yeah, check out the links in the description if you want to see more of my art. Then you can have a look down there at my social media. And you can keep up with the mods development if you're new around here. So do have a look at that. Other than that, thank you ever so much for watching. It's been really, really good to have you here. The support's been excellent. We've had, huge amounts of viewers today. Unfortunately, our 2 dislikes. But, you can't have everything, can you? So, thank you everyone, and stay safe, all of you. You'll see, do check into Froosty's stream tomorrow, where he'll be working on the Ered Mithrin veterans, these guys. So he'll continue modelling them. And after that, on Sunday, we've got Leo doing another campaign stream. So check that out. thank you so much for turning up. You've been brilliant. Good night, folks.